Hi, good evening all. Welcome to Blue and Gold Talk, the video on the channel that discusses random Sabres talk, normally. But today I do want to talk about last game. I didn't give you guys a post-game video, so I'm going to talk about that also in this one. Not going to clip it out, guys. I'll just give you my thoughts on the game, I know we won the game, guys, but for me, it looked like an uninspired victory. Crucify me if I'm wrong if you want, but I just seen they looked uninspired. It took excellent goaltending to keep us in, which we got. And the truth is, Calgary's not exactly lighting it up right now. They're just not playing that good. I want to get to some other things. So, I wanted to talk about that. Look, our big guns just aren't scoring this year. It's just not happening. I mean, it's a misleading score, 4-1, 2 empty net goals. And what else can we do? We're going to come home now for a 5-game homestand, guys, and we've got to produce on this 5-game homestand, last homestand of the year. We have one more home game after this, but this is a last homestand, really. And I think they got to win all 5, just have a shot. So let me get into that for a second. Okay, Wednesday, we have Ottawa. Friday, we have New Jersey. Saturday, we have Toronto. We flip on over to April. On Tuesday, after 2-day break, we got the Capitals. 2-day break, we got the Flyers. So, we'll know by my daughter's birthday, which is April the 5th, where this team is at. And if that last 4 out of 5 on the road mean anything whatsoever, we're going to know by after this homestand. Mathematically, that is. Right now, it looks dim, I get it. But at the same time, guys, we're just not done yet. We're just not done yet. It's, if this team could have just, played like they're capable. This is a much better team on paper, which is frustrating for us, right? It's frustrating because we know this is a better team, and it just feels like they're not into it. That's how it's felt for me all year, guys. I watched that win yesterday, and I was just shaking my head. I didn't see desperation. I didn't see any hard hitting. I'll give you the hits. Let me check that. Something like 12, 13, 14, 15, right around that ballpark. It wasn't much. I was frustrated watching this game yesterday. I got to admit I was. I wasn't thrilled we won. It wasn't like that kind of feeling at all. Where the Sabres game? There we go. Somewhere around 14 hits, I'm guessing. 15. Calgary at 15 hits also. But guys, when Huberdeau is the only guy that scores on you, how hard was Calgary trying? You know what I mean? 15 hits. They know their season's done. I figured they'd show up to play. I guess they did. But they're playing down the season. They know it right now. And we're not playing an inspired team that's knocking on the door of the playoffs. So we should have won this going away. I mean, Thompson scored. It looks good, right? Empty netter. Peterka scored again. That's nice to see. It's nice to see him getting his act together. And I was happy Clifton got an empty netter too. So, we got a few empty netters back that we've given up as freebies to I don't know how many teams this year. It's not as bad as I complain about. I just hate empty net goals, folks. I can't stand them when they're not necessary. I don't like to give the opponent any kind of free, So, in this game, I didn't see any hard hitting. I seen good goaltending. I seen some good goaltending again by Luukkonen, which is nice to see. I'll get you his final numbers. But he was kind of left out to dry a few times, I felt, watching this game. I was like, come on, guys, Jesus. The whole thing, if they believe that the season's done, he's 32 out of 33, 970 save percentage. And he only let in a goal on the power play, so... it's not like Luukkonen. If it wasn't for Luukkonen, where would we be this year? And that was somebody I didn't even see coming this year. I didn't see his game turning into what it turned into this year. Look, he bounced right back from 8 goals to 1. So, he bounced right back. I was happy for him. If there's anybody I was happy for yesterday, it was Luukkonen. Because he's earned the right to be the starter on this team, and we've got to see more from the boys in this. If this is how they're going to play coming home, forget it. Forget it. We're going to get buried quick. It's not going to last, guys. It just won't last. Now, so what else today? I had another page open for a reason. I was looking at a few things besides the schedule, you know. The schedule, look, it's a 5-game homestand. We got to win it out. Got to win it out. Thanks, Donnie Meatballs. Thanks for the, you know, making sure the boys are ready all year long. It's been a sad season, guys. Honestly. Look, right now, we're 5 points behind the Red Wings, and we've been crap all year, and the Red Wings have basically overachieved, so think about that. They went and spent money like crazy to do what they're doing this year. You know, guys not within their system. They had to go out and get guys that wanted to play on Detroit, or else where would the Red Wings be if Kane didn't want to sign there and DeBrincat didn't want to? Where would they be right now? Be probably worse. Not saying that those guys really make or break them. It's really Larkin is the heartbeat of that team, but still. You know, I was looking at stats this year, okay? And I'm on Hockey Reference, just so you guys know where I'm getting this from. And I'm looking at the plus minus, you know? And, you know, the consistent ones are Greenway, Peterka, and Krebs. Those are the guys that consistently do not go into the minus. And then you got a bunch of guys down below. I think the Jost experiment is done with. Tage is a -7 this year, and he hasn't even hardly scored. It's like I can go on and on and on. And Dahlin didn't exactly have the greatest year, but he is one of those guys that has to take chances when he's out there. So he's taking chances in the minus. That's his job. It's, you know, and then Cousins also. If you would have told me Cousins will be a -4 this year, I never would have believed it before the year started. So there's things that we can break down and look at and we can talk about all day long. I think what lacks in this team, guys, is just heart and desire. Really. In a nutshell, as a team, I see no heart, I see no desire, I see a lot of underachievers out there. And Granato's just not the right guy. He's just not the right guy to coach this team. So how much do I have to suffer as a fan, okay, and continue on this path with this coach that I don't think is ever going to get 100% out of these guys ever? You need to get a coach in here. For me, guys, that was a dead giveaway. When I see the players say they love this guy and they really adore this guy as a coach, that for me is a red flag. That's a red flag. You need a coach in here that's not very liked. And that, I guarantee he'll be respected when his voice is behind you game time. You're going to tell me that Philadelphia likes slack when Tortorella's in a bad mood? I don't think so. If the Flyers with that roster can do what they did this year, what could our roster do? These thoughts come in my head, guys. What could our roster have done this year if they were pushed, really pushed? Not cradled and coddled. I'm talking pushed to the brink where they just hate the coach some days. Not all the time, but some days. They just can't stand the coach. Sometimes that works. Ask the Montreal Canadiens in the 70s, the greatest dynasty I think we'll ever see. That Habs team in the 70s had zero weakness. Zero. Edmonton had weakness defensively. They had good goaltending, not the greatest goal. I know Gretzky says Grant Fuhr's the greatest of all time, but Gretzky's, commentary isn't always on. It's just not. Grant Fuhr was not the greatest goalie ever. We know. I still remember that goal that Fuhr let in. I think it was in overtime. And it went in, and then he kicked out his foot after. You remember that? That was when Montreal swept us in '93, right? So look, I think we need to get a coach to know what we have. I can't judge these players till I see we got an excellent coach behind the bench. It's not fair to judge any of these players. They're not held accountable. So how are we supposed to know what we really have if they're not given 100% night in, night out? How are we supposed to know what we really have? You heard what Middlestat was saying about being out there. The practices are a lot different out there. Well, Maybe our practice is slack. I mean, we were hearing before how great our practices were. Maybe it was a little played into, that comment, you know? I just get the feeling, guys, if we had one kick-ass coach behind the bench, we'd have one hell of a team. And that, for me, as a fan, drives me crazy. Because I think it's the obvious thing. We need to bring a coach who's going to teach this team night in, night out. You play hard and tough and physical. No matter what. I don't care if we're up 4-0. Finish your checks. Finish your hits. All of it. If you don't finish your checks, what do you why are you coming to the bench? They got to get a coach that's really going to be hard on them. And I don't think this is the guy. My goodness, I keep saying it, eh? It's discouraging because I look and I see potential. And a different voice, Rick Tocchet, Vancouver, remember how they were all complaining that Boudreau got fired out there, remember? In comes Rick Tocchet, look at the Canucks this year. Different voice, different system. That team skates and hits. That's why they're a Stanley Cup threat this year. They are. They are a Stanley Cup threat this year. So if we could get a coach that comes in and teaches us that, and the guy that's out there right now for me will be Gallant. You bring in Gerard Gallant, the guy looks like he's escaped from a mental asylum. He does. Guy looks crazy, right? And there's a reason he keeps getting fired in every job. It's like these organizations think he's a loose cannon, and I think they push him out the door because we're in the soft era, right? Everybody, oh, don't, you're going to hurt his feelings. It's like, give me a break. Bring in a hard ass. This is what we need on this team. This team, I would love to see how the boys would react under a coach like that. I remember that show. I've talked about it before in here. I remember that show called Habs 24, okay? And they showed him behind the scenes, and man, he just got in the millionaires' faces and threatened them. Just threatened them in Montreal. And that year they went to the finals. Oh, no, the semifinals. My bad. They lost to the Rangers. 2014 season when the Rangers lost to the Kings. So if we had a guy like that, I think that would be, and he was the assistant coach. Let's remember that. Okay, he was the assistant coach in Montreal when he was acting like that. So imagine this guy's the head coach. You wouldn't be able to get away with any crap with this guy, okay? This is who I wanted right from the start, guys, when we got rid of Kruger, who, he's all over the place, that guy. I mean, he's out there, I don't know, doing consultations or something for like volleyball teams or something right now. I don't know what he's doing. He's out there doing something right now. But we need to get a guy that takes it like this and says, no, it's my way or you're out, or you sit, or you're in the press box. One or the other. Get a guy like that in here. This is what we need, guys. I'm telling you. Very uninspired win yesterday. I'm happy they won. Thrilled they won. I am. I was like, oh, thank God, They didn't seem desperate enough. Is it just me, guys? Really? What do you think? I didn't see desperation yesterday. I just seen a team floating, then trying, then floating, then trying, then floating. It's like the Jetsons, this team. They float sometimes. This whole thing, guys, this whole thing is become like a bad joke this year for us. It really has. As this season unfolds, it just keeps getting worse and worse. Even when we win, it feels like we took a step back yesterday, I felt like. In this trip, I didn't like this trip at all. I mean, we ran into a very cold Seattle team when we beat them pretty easy. We ran into a cold Seattle team. It was nice to beat them, though. Don't get me wrong. I love beating those guys. But, to get slaughtered in Edmonton and not have some sort of a response yesterday, physically, in this game whatsoever. If we're going to come home, guys, and throw 15, 12 hits a night, well, pack it in. Pack it in, Sabres. Just forfeit the games. Give us all a break. And we'll all watch like something on TV, There's no point in us wasting our time if it's going to continue like this. We need a new coach, guys. I guess that's what I don't even know I was going to mention the coaching thing so much, but I just know it. I know we need a new coach. We need a new voice. We need a new aura behind that bench besides soft and nice, okay? You need a guy that's going to give you shit right in your ear Why didn't you finish that check? Why didn't you finish that hit? Why didn't you finish it? Instead of Granato, like, you know, how he just doesn't pay attention to that whatsoever. I knew this team was doomed years ago. I thought it would change, though. I really did think it would change this year. Bad on me, guys. Bad on me. I thought it would change this year. I just thought that Granato would have, you know, that they acquired some more physical guys with Johnson and Clifton. I just thought they were going to, like, put more of a physical effort. And the truth is they have, but not the regulars. Not the regulars. There's not enough hitting on this team. I'm watching this game yesterday, and I'm seeing us go after the puck, and he puts out the stick. I think it was Tage. Puts out the stick instead of taking the guy. He has the guy lined up. He can pass it. You can legally crush him right in the boards. And instead of going at him and committing to the hit, he just tries to put his stick in front to block the pass in the Sabre zone. I see this kind of stuff, guys, it irritates me to no end. It just does. I'm old school. I come from the time where hitting is a big part of the game. I can't stand the idea that we think we can get away without playing hockey by playing ball hockey on the rink. I don't know. Maybe it's just me, guys. It's how I feel. All right, I ranted long enough, guys. Done. I'm going to leave it there. I had no idea I was going to bring this up. I wanted to talk about the game last night, how I felt about it. Happy they won, disappointed how they played. In a nutshell. That's how I feel. In a nutshell. I didn't like how they played at all. I think half the league would have beaten us yesterday, easily. The effort that we came out with, that's on the coach. Lack of hitting, that's on the coach. I counted at least 2-3 times they were caught with men on the ice. That's on the coach. How many times did we get caught on the ice? I didn't even mention that yet, eh? No, how many times did we get caught out there? Like 3 at least, right? And I'm talking dead tired caught. We're lucky we played such a bad team yesterday. In a nutshell, guys. So, all right. Yes, I'm done. I'll see you guys in the pregame in a few days, but I'm going to try to put together some videos tomorrow, okay? It'll be in the evening tomorrow night. Got a really busy day. See you then. Thanks for listening. Take care.